can it weld plastic?
Oh. Now what plastic do we want to weld?
I don't know, I gotta find some plastic that's broken and then like...
Try to join it back together. You take something inconsequential and break it. Oh my God.
I don't think I can fix that. Oops.
Ooh. Don't touch it against metal.
That's hot.
Yeah.
I should probably remove
Disconnect the ground.
This is what happens when there's no clear instructions,
yep.
Okay? Yes, I know. Boo, cheap tools. Well, these are two ones that were sent over that are gonna make me laugh, I think. Yes, gentlemen and ladies, Vevor. So Lynn, our ever lovely contact at Vevor, will just reach out and say, do you want this or that? Or how about some of these or those? And there's no real strings attached except to show them to you guys. And by default, I get to, it's like Christmas. I get to unbox fun things that are made of Chinesium. And we get to see what they do. So apparently, in this box, is a welding hood, auto darkening welding hood with a GoPro mount.
Hey.
Why? No idea. And in this box is a DC stick welder and a plastic welder. I've seen some clips of what I believe this to be. You know what, let's start with the welding helmet because we'll need this to use that.
There we go.
So this on screen now is the exact item that this is. It costs this much money. And you can buy it here. Whoa, it looks kind of sick, actually.
Oh.
Dude, it's got like a custom paint job.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa.
That's kind of dope. It really smells something special, I'll be honest with you. Look at this, it's already auto darkening. So we've got the mask, we've got the headgear. That actually looks like a direct copy of Miller's headgear.
Interesting.
Which is good. Oh, and we've got an
an
entire thing of GoPro. Oh, by the way, it's for the GoPro 5, 6, and 7.
Oh, perfect.
So they're only about 6 years behind. But actually, look at this.
Holy cow.
I could use some of this stuff. It is hilarious to me that Vevor said, you know what? We could just sell a welding hood, but why don't we sell one with a GoPro mount?
Yeah.
And a case that I assure you will not fit my Hero 9.
Oh boy, our favorite part.
I do love Vevor's literature. It's my favorite thing.
How'd they do this time?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, actually, this is one of the better. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. Structure of the welding mask.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can guess on how this goes together. But...
Dang. Okay.
Sure.
It's a little shorter length almost.
Yeah, it doesn't come down.
You're gonna get a little tan on your neck.
There it goes.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice. It's got weld mode, it's got cut mode, it's got grind mode. Dude, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, the paint job is kind of funky.
I like it. So that's just a welding mask. I have faith that Vevor can make one that works. Yeah, this definitely does not fit a Hero 9. So this is for the, if you have a Hero 6, 7, buy this mask, you get a free GoPro case. Yep. But GoPro has kept the same mounting situation, so let's see.
Yeah, where is it supposed to mount?
I don't know. I mean, there's adhesive mounts in here. I literally think you're just supposed to like glue it to the thing.
Yeah.
I will not be doing that.
Honestly, you could save these adhesives for something
Well, yeah,
else.
we use GoPros to film, so I need these all the time, and I'm probably gonna keep them. Let's see what else we get. An adhesive lanyard mount thing. So I guess their idea was, you know, mount this here like that, and then your camera can go here. You get it.
Now, what would be really cool is if there is a welding hood that has an internal camera system that can see
Oh yeah,
through
see,
the...
exactly. That's the thing you want to see is like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some people that do a really good job out there, like Jody from Welding Tips and Tricks. I like this mask.
A nice flip down action.
Yeah, it stays up too real easy. And flip it down real easy. It's actually got windows in the side too. It's got peripheral windows.
Oh, you can actually see out of that?
Yeah, I can see like from here to here.
But those aren't darkening, they're just...
They're shaded, but they're not like dark for welding.
Right.
They'd be like for cutting or something. So for comparison, this is a Miller Digital Elite welding helmet that I have had for almost exactly a decade now. And it's my favorite mask I've ever used. It's perfect, I know it inside and out. I've replaced this front shield like 700 times. I've got stickers all over it. It's been on fire, it's filthy, it's you know, scratched, but I love it. This welding helmet costs $365. Ooh. This helmet from Vevor is $85, and it's the large view auto darkening welding helmet, Arc TIG MIG grinding welder mask. I love their titles. They just need to use less words.
Yeah.
This is kind of like another Miller mask that I have that I really don't like. This is the Miller T94i. This mask is even more expensive.
Really?
But the reason I don't like this mask is because it's so heavy.
Whoa.
After hanging on your head for a while, your neck hurts. But what it does have is this flip up. This is just for grinding, so if you don't need to protect your eye holes. And then that flips down, you have a main window here, and then the side peripheral windows. I think that's more similar to what Vevor is trying to accomplish here. These masks are probably $400 or $500, and I don't like this one. This one's nice and light though, so it feels like a neat blend between the lightness of my Digital Elite and the peripheral view of this T94i. Okay, so I did look this up. These T94i's from Miller are like $500, and they weigh 1 pound, 10 ounces, almost 2 pounds. The Digital Elite that I use all the time weighs 1 pound, 5 ounces.
Okay.
So the Vevor Large View weighs 1 pound, 6 ounces. So like it literally is like in between these two. It's light enough to where I'll like it like this one, but it's got the peripheral stuff and a shocking amount of functionality in here. So you can use this button, switch between your shade, your delay, and your sensitivity. You've got memory modes, and you've got weld mode, cut mode, which is just a permanent shade for using like a plasma cutter or a torch. And then grind mode, which is real light, just to have something. If you weren't wearing glasses or something, you could just use this to cut or grind with an angle grinder. Pretty comprehensive little package there. $300, $500, 85 bucks.
I had a question that you might not know the answer to. Since welding can cause eye damage, the response time for these masks has to be pretty quick so you don't get blinded. How quick is it, do you know?
Well, the Vevor says that it responds in 1/30,000th of a second. So fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what Miller's is, but you know, the only time I've ever been blinded with this mask is because I leave it on grind mode and then you go to weld and it doesn't darken, and that's user error.
Well, it's just, it's something that seems super simple and quote unquote solved, that these masks can auto darken so quickly, but you really are placing a lot of faith in them.
That is the one thing about a cheap instrument of safety, is that the cheaper it is, the less likely it's going to function perfectly. So, you know, that's exactly why I don't think about buying budget welding masks or protective equipment, is because, well, it needs to protect you at all times. So I will try this out and see how it works. If we do any welding here in a second, I'll use that.
Yeah.
I'll switch between these two and see. But out of the box, I can see it triggering. If I increase the sensitivity enough, I can get it to trigger from the skylight and the lights in our ceiling, which my mask does as well. Probably a bit beyond the scope of this video, but sensitivity is important because like I did a bunch of silicon bronze TIG welding on a gas tank for a motorcycle a few months ago. And I was welding at a pretty low amperage, like 40 amps. So that's not nearly as bright as most other welding operations. So you can reduce your sensitivity, or you need to increase your sensitivity rather, so that it does get triggered by that dimmer, less bright arc light. And in parallel, you can change the actual shade. So when it does trigger, you can change that shade that it triggers to. So normally it's like a shade 12, shade 11, shade 13. Sometimes if it's a real dull arc, like on real low amperage welding, you can change it down to a shade 8 or a shade 9. And you can actually see more of what's going on if you at a lower shade, it doesn't get quite as dark. So these technologies come a long way. A mask like this 10 years ago would have been $300-400. Like they didn't have budget versions of masks with this many features. Like this, you can see like it's almost a direct copy of Miller's control system. In fact, it's a bit more advanced because again, this is 10 years old, this mask. And it still had every single feature. Like here we are 10 years later, the cheap masks have all the features that the really expensive masks had 10 years ago. Which is the same in cars. Like things that are standard now on a Mercedes, like a Toyota will have in 10 years. Like I remember when all that adaptive like cruise control and air conditioned seats and all that was like pure luxury. Yep. Now like Subarus have all that stuff. Yep. So
another dumb question.
Sure.
How frequently have you had to replace the batteries in this guy?
Oh, I've replaced the batteries in this thing a lot, but I've owned it for 10 years. It takes 2 batteries. They're watch batteries.
Little discs.
They're discs. So they pull this out and then you pull that out and there's these 2 pieces here. There's one there and one there. The batteries come out the end. But it lasts for a long time. And I don't know if this is true, but I thought for a moment that the batteries get charged from the light, kind of like a
solar calculator.
Like a calculator. Like there's a solar array down there. I'm pretty sure the red dots are the light sensors to trigger the mask, and there's like a solar array down there. So I'm pretty sure the more you use this, the less often you'll have to charge the batteries. This appears to have something similar. You see the 4 sensors in the corner, these 2 bars here that are probably photovoltaic cells. So we'll see. And it looks like real easy. There's a battery here and a battery here, it looks like.
You'd say you have to change it once a year, less than that?
Once every 6 months, maybe. It depends. If you're using it a long time, like frequently, you don't have to replace it that often. If you let it sit, like that mask is still good, but I had to replace the batteries on that mask more because it just sits. Anyway, are you guys bored of talking about welding masks yet?
It's important.
I kinda am.
Yeah.
But that's the VEVOR. We're gonna use this in the rest of this video, but check that out. We'll have the link in the description for this and this plastic welder that we're looking at today. If you buy from that link, we get a little kickback. We appreciate that, and thanks for the $5.
Yeah, for no extra cost.
Yeah, you don't pay extra $5.
And
we steal it from the man.
Yeah. And if we have a promo, it'll be right here.
Yeah,
there's always a promo.
VV Pro, I think, for 5% off. So that's that. Now, you have your welding mask, and now you need a cheap little welder. This is not just any welder. So I'm kind of over, you've seen cheap welders. We know what cheap welders are out there. I don't need to tell you guys anymore about how cheap welders can actually do stuff.
Just like how, the mask from 10 years ago, the features are comparable.
It's exactly the same. Yeah, so technology, the cheap Chinese or overseas stuff is catching up to where like high-end tech was a decade ago or more. That's exactly what's happening with all these VEVOR or Yes Welder, or just insert one of any 25 weird word combinations. But this welder I said yes to because it does something that I've only seen on social media, which is weld plastic. And it has a lot to do with what's in this bag right here. So this is the VEVOR stick welder, 200 amp stick and plastic arc welder machine, 110, 220 volt hot stapler with hot star, anti-stick, plastic welding kit, car bumper repair kit.
Word salad.
It's $106 from VEVOR.com. I have now yet another one of these 220 to 110 jumpers. I have like 12 of these. But let's get it out of the box and see what we're dealing with here. Oh, I love this manual we've got. Just already says tough tools, half price.
Hey.
We've got things, stuff, a ground cable, a stinger. Sounds the same.
Yep.
Oh, smell that. Here, you smell.
Whoa.
Smells like imports.
Smells like it sat in a shipping container in Bangkok for.
Smells like customs.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have? We have a mode button and a knob.
Feature rich.
It's a clicky knob. It's a turny and a clicky knob and a pushy button.
I like how there's no numbers on the knob. It's just min, max.
Minimum and maximum. I'm wondering, I bet you there's a little digital display behind here.
Well, it looks like it.
Let's do what we always do on a welder review and just plug it in with nothing plugged into it.
Huh. Oh.
There it goes. So that switches mode. So it goes from 30 amps to 120 amps. Probably more if I plug it into 220. We got hot start, that is that's for stick welding. Arc force, that's also for stick welding. We can do lift arc TIG.
Wow.
How about that?
The namesake.
And then the hot stapler. I don't know what OC is, overcurrent probably. So they have the MMA 140, 180, and 200.
Don't want to get in the ring with this thing.
Yeah, the mixed martial arts 200 here. So this is the adjustment knob and memory button, function switch button. Yeah, that's the fault thermal overload indicator up top. Not a whole lot of how to set it up in here.
Interesting.
So let's see what it came with. Oh my God, smell that.
Whoa. That smells like a tire factory.
Yeah, really does smell. It smells like Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever been into like a cheap tool store, that's what it smells like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like super know much about stick welding. So, how to wire your stick welder for stick welding.
Work lead first.
Shout out to whoever this
so
is.
that any other leads
I
go
think
over
this
the
is
top of it.
weld.com.
Ah.
All right, well, let's stick weld. See if we can make some stuff melt.
I just blinded myself.
Sorry.
It's all good. I don't know why I was.
By the way, don't look at that.
Oh my God, that's bright.
I mean, it does welder things.
Yeah.
You ready, Walker?
Yes.
Okay.
This time. Whew.
Overcurrent protection. Why? Why did it do? That won't turn off. There it goes.
Turn it down to 80.
Yeah, let's try this again. Still pretty hot. Oh, it was at 100 still.
Okay.
Look at me, I'm stick welding.
Wow. Nice joint.
We're doing joints.
Doobies.
Eat your heart out.
Yeah. I mean.
The TIG welder can stick weld. How
Yeah.
about that? The thing that's hard to get used to is that your electrode just goes away.
Yeah, it just
So you have to
disappears.
keep moving in.
That looks pretty good.
I used to stick weld a lot. At Black Dog. most of the time I would only stick weld because I needed to weld cast. Yeah. I didn't think there'd be any issue with stick welding. It's literally just a giant short circuit. So clearly I'm not an expert, but I can make a weld happen. That's relatively strong. So we've established it can do something that every welder in the world can do. Can it weld plastic?
Oh. Now what plastic do we want to weld?
I don't know, I gotta find some plastic that's broken and then like...
Try to join it back together?
You know, I'll go find some plastic to weld after a word from our sponsor.
Oh boy, I do love these lift dock fellas. They make some great content. I just wish there was a way I could support them.
Well, it's your lucky day, loyal viewer.
Oh heavens, where did you come from?
We just launched our Patreon, a service you can subscribe to support us, all while receiving some amazing bonus content.
Who?
Patreon. We'll be posting all of our videos there ad-free, as well as extra videos, consistent behind-the-scenes content, and tips and tricks to help you become a certified master welder.
Oh, I don't know. I've never done anything like this before.
Well, no pressure, but people that sign up for our Patreon will allow us to continue to make the content that you seem to enjoy. Plus, I just hired Walker full-time, so I do need to be able to pay him for his work.
Oh, yes. Paying Walker does sound very important.
Guys, please check out our Patreon. There's 3 different tiers, so you can pick the one that's right for you. The link is down in the description. We're really excited to launch this. We've been thinking about doing it for a long time, and we hope that it's a way to allow us to continue to make more videos for you. It'll effectively allow us to double our video output. So whichever tier you sign up for, it would mean the world, and we promise it'll be worth it for you. So please check it out. And now, back to the video.
Take something inconsequential and break it. Oh my god.
I don't think I can fix that. Oops. We can try though.
That's a pretty big gap.
No kidding. Let's do it, baby. There we go. That's more reasonable. All right, I have no idea how this is supposed to work other than some Instagram videos I've watched while pooping. So this thing goes in here and you turn it on. There's a button on it, okay. So they call it a hot stapler. And what we have here are funky little S shapes. So what I think, I have a button on this wand. What I think happens is that is gonna heat up like a heating element. We'll see, let's start here. There's a crack right there. Let's start right here. See that crack? Let's try to fix that. So if I hold this.
Oh, whoa.
Oops. I've let go, so let's see. Okay, so I think the idea...
Those are like slightly disposable and you leave them in?
Yeah, so it's like a stitch of sorts, like for your body. So this gets hot and melts, and you press it into the plastic and it melts partially the way through. And then you let it cool, and then the plastic goes back from a liquid state when it's hot back to the solid state. But now with this enclosed inside the plastic. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It does melt in pretty quickly.
And I've let go, so I gotta let it harden. Whoa.
Ooh. Don't touch it against metal.
That's hot.
Yeah.
I should probably
Disconnect
remove
the
my
ground.
This is what happens when there's no clear instructions,
Yep.
okay? So then the idea is that you cut those off. Like if this was a car bumper. See, like, I tried not to go all the way through. And structurally, it's definitely not as broken. See one where I almost went all the way through there.
Yep.
But I think the idea is then you come back here, you cut these off with side cutters. Sorry, watch your eyes.
I'm squinting.
Safety squints. That one hit me in the head.
Fly.
And then you take some sort of abrasive device. Grind that down. And then if this were a car bumper or a body panel, sand it, Bondo it, sand it again, prime it, paint it, and it goes away. It actually kind of works.
That's pretty cool.
Look at that. So now let's try to fix this part. I could see using this on my drift car a lot when I rip the panels off. I'm gonna do 2 there, and then I'll push this next piece back in. Cool part is the gun itself isn't hot because all the heat goes into that thing. That gave me bracing to fix the rest of it.
Dang!
Dude, like, there's the broken piece.
Like invisible. Squinting. Actually, just gonna close my eyes.
You can hear it hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then we take this. Fixed.
Look at that!
That is every bit as cool as I'd hoped it would be and more.
I mean, that is damn near invisible.
So, that was a pleasant surprise. Here I am, yet again, standing before you with some cheap hardware in front of me, going,
Yeah. I mean,
that's kind of cool.
yeah.
I mean, to me, it's kind of funny that, like, the combination of stick welding and plastic welding is a weird combination of things to have in a machine. But I suppose it's better than just a stick welder or just a plastic welder. Like, at least you have that added functionality.
True.
I don't even know if it was my inexperience that was it was hard to start with the stick or the machine or the rods or whatever. Don't judge me on that. I'm not a pro stick welder. Cool little unit. It is grounded. There's a 3rd prong on the plug.
I can see this plastic stitching coming in real handy.
I need another stick welder, like a hole in the head, but having a plastic repair device around the shop, I could see coming in handy.
Yeah.
And for $106, you repair one plastic part instead of having to replace it. Pays for itself.
Car bumper, you know?
Kinda cool. And there's less powerful versions that are probably cheaper. So anyway, that's the end of the Vevor extravaganza we have for you this time. I'm quite pleased with both products. I dig the mask. It's light. I think it looks cool. It's clean. My mask is filthy. That's my own fault. But you know, at the very least, somebody else comes in the shop, visitor, someone I need to teach somebody how to weld, or if I start doing classes, it's nice to get a few of these and have them here so that I have, you know, guest masks. And then this thing doesn't take up much space. I'll be able to file it over in the corner somewhere. I have so many welders in here now.
I was gonna say,
I want to do a video where we line all of them up, and like, if you guys are into that, let me know. But I want to take all the welders I have. You know, I have a Miller-Matic 212 MIG welder. I have an Everlast 210 EXT TIG and stick welder. I have an Eastwood AC/DC 200 TIG and stick welder. I have an old 1990s Miller scratch start TIG welder. I have, of course, the Vevor $200 some TIG welder. I have the Everlast 161 STH DC only TIG welder. I have the Weldmark MP200 multi-process MIG and TIG stick welder.
Cyclone, did you already mention that?
I do have the Everlast Cyclone 262 MIG welder, and then Jake and Steve have more. Like in
Yeah.
this building, there's like 10 welders.
Yeah.
So maybe we do a big pull them all out and see what I like and what I don't like about all the ones that we have here currently at the shop. But until then, thanks for watching. All the links for all the VEVOR stuff that we have reviewed and in past videos and in this video down in the description. You buying those from those links helps us out a little bit and costs no extra money on your end. And as always, if you want a long sleeve t-shirt that looks cooler than this one, liftdarkstudios.com. Please like, please subscribe. Hit a little slump in our viewership, but maybe that's because we suck and we need to do better. So we promise we're gonna keep doing better. Thanks for sticking around, appreciate you guys. It means the world that you're here watching. See you on the next one.
Bye.